The British monarchy stands at a crossroads, facing a moment of transformation that could define its future for generations to come. With a new narrative emerging around Prince William, the spotlight is shifting to the next generation of royal leadership. He's being cast as a reformer, someone who won't just inherit the crown, but actively reshape the institution for a new era, bringing fresh ideas and a modern sensibility to royal duties. Media outlets are fueling this story, painting William as a visionary ready to break from tradition and lead the monarchy into uncharted territory. The phrase, modern monarchy, is everywhere, suggesting the current system is outdated and in need of his leadership, as if only he can bridge the gap between the past and the present. This isn't accidental, it's a carefully managed PR campaign, positioning William as the architect of change, with every public appearance and statement meticulously planned. Reports highlight his active planning and strategic mindset, countering the image of royals as passive figures and emphasizing his hands-on approach to leadership. The goal, to secure public affection for the next king and ensure the monarchy's relevance in a rapidly changing society, where tradition alone may not be enough. But is this genuine reform, or just a sophisticated image makeover designed to appeal to modern sensibilities? We must ask, who's telling this story and why now? What's driving this sudden push for a new royal image? The difference between real change and a polished narrative is crucial to understanding the monarchy's future, and whether it can truly adapt or is simply reinventing its image. Let's look beyond the headlines to see what's really at stake and question what the future of the monarchy might truly hold. To decode the message, we need to examine the messenger, Cameron D.L. Walker, royal reporter for GB News. GB News is known for its staunch support of traditional institutions, including the monarchy. Walker's reporting style is marked by insider access and a consistently positive spin on royal affairs. His articles often read more like endorsements than journalism, using words like visionary and reformer to describe William. This isn't neutral reporting, it's advocacy, designed to persuade the public of William's fitness to rule. The palace and Walker have a symbiotic relationship. He gets exclusives. They get favourable coverage. This dynamic amplifies the monarchy's preferred narrative, shaping public perception. The institution's survival depends on this kind of media partnership. Allies in the press are invaluable in the ongoing campaign for public approval. Understanding this relationship is key to seeing how the monarchy manages its image. At the heart of this narrative is a quote attributed to Prince William. "I am not going to do things the way my grandmother did, and I am not going to do things the way my father is. I am going to do things my way." These words, simple yet powerful, have echoed across headlines and broadcasts, capturing the attention of both royal watchers and the general public. The statement is often presented as proof of his revolutionary spirit, a clear break from the traditions that have defined the monarchy for generations. Media outlets highlight this as a bold declaration of independence, a sign that William is ready to carve out his own path. GB News frames it as a momentous shift, but rarely offers any critical analysis or deeper exploration of what this change might actually entail. The focus remains on William's personality, determined, modern, and seemingly ready to lead the monarchy into a new era. Yet the quote itself is inspiring, but ultimately vague. There are no specifics about what reforms or changes he envisions. Supportive media coverage encourages the public to project their hopes and aspirations onto William, without demanding any concrete plans or commitments. This approach shifts the conversation away from institutional issues, focusing instead on individual style and personality. The monarchy's challenges are thus framed as generational, not structural, suggesting that a new face is all that's needed for real change. The implied solution: wait patiently for the right leader to emerge, rather than question or reform the system itself. William is positioned as the answer to the monarchy's problems, a charismatic saviour who will usher in a brighter future. It's a compelling and reassuring story, but one that sidesteps deeper questions about the nature of inherited power and accountability. The narrative is simple and appealing, but it conveniently avoids real scrutiny or debate about the monarchy's role in modern society. As we look to the future, we must ask, what does my way actually mean for the monarchy? And will it truly bring about meaningful change or simply preserve the status quo under a new face? To add substance, the media highlights William's plan for the Duchy of Cornwall, waiving rent for community groups. This is framed as a groundbreaking act of generosity, showing a prince in touch with ordinary people. The move is used as tangible proof of his modern leadership. But the duchy is a £1 billion estate, generating vast tax-free income. Waiving rent for a few groups is a small gesture, not a structural change. Critics argue these actions distract from bigger questions about royal wealth and privilege. The media's focus on small reforms can obscure the need for deeper accountability. The timing of William's modernising narrative is no accident. It emerges as the monarchy faces scrutiny, especially after Harry and Meghan's departure. William is cast as the steady reformer, in contrast to his brother's disruptive image. The media frames William's changes as thoughtful and essential, while Harry's were labelled naive or damaging. This dichotomy isn't accidental, it's central to the monarchy's PR strategy. By making William the face of reform, the institution co-opts the language of change. The message real evolution comes from within, not from those who leave. William becomes the saviour, while Harry is the cautionary tale. The media reinforces this narrative, ensuring public support for the heir. It's a mythic story, but one that simplifies complex realities. The double standard in media coverage is stark. When Harry and Meghan proposed modernising their roles, they were vilified as greedy and disrespectful. The same ideas, when attributed to William, are celebrated as visionary. The difference isn't in the ideas, but in who proposes them, and whether they're inside or outside the palace. The media protects the institution by praising the heir and criticising dissenters. This echo chamber amplifies the palace's narrative and marginalises alternative voices. Public debate is reduced to personalities and loyalty, not real reform. The question becomes, which team are you on, rather than what kind of monarchy should exist? The monarchy's image is now managed with precision, in partnership with friendly media. Journalists like Walker become architects of public perception, building William's persona as a uniquely qualified leader. Positive stories are strategically leaked, creating an aura of authenticity. The goal: define William in the public mind before critics can. The media's choices, what to highlight, what to ignore, shape the narrative. This symbiotic relationship protects the monarchy from scrutiny. The focus stays on personalities and feel-good stories, not on power or privilege. The narrative of a modern monarchy is the latest product of this image machine. It's designed to ensure the crown's survival by managing what the public sees and believes. As William's modern monarchy story unfolds, we must ask, are we witnessing genuine reform, or is this simply a carefully crafted PR campaign designed to maintain the monarchy's relevance in a changing world? Waiving rent for tenants is a positive gesture, but in the grand scheme, it's a minor tweak to a system built on immense inherited privilege and generational wealth that remains largely untouched. True modernization would require more than symbolic acts. It would mean real transparency, fair taxation, and a redefined constitutional role that reflects the values of today's society. The changes being promoted are mostly stylistic, not structural, meant to make the monarchy appear more relatable and palatable, but not necessarily more accountable or democratic. The media often blurs the line between spectacle and substance, celebrating minor gestures as if they are visionary reforms, while rarely questioning the deeper issues at play. This cycle allows the monarchy to project an image of change and progress, while in reality, the core structures and privileges remain largely the same. The stark hypocrisy in media coverage of William versus Harry reveals how the press often acts to protect the status quo, shaping public perception to favour tradition over transformation. Real reform requires more than a new narrative or a fresh face. It demands systemic change, accountability, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about power and privilege. We must look beyond the headlines and glossy images and ask the hard questions about the monarchy's future and its place in a modern democracy. Only by doing so can we decide if we want a monarchy that's truly modern in substance or one that simply changes its style to survive.
To all my amazing and curious Sussex family, thank you all for watching our videos, and do not forget to subscribe, like, and put a comment. Bye bye. See you in our next episode. Bye.